From the highest peaks to the deepest oceans, drones venture where humans just can't, bridging the gap between curiosity and our understanding of the planet. They provide unparalleled access to remote and challenging environments, enabling data collection and observation with minimal disturbance to natural habitats. Their versatility and advanced technology support a wide range of scientific research, from environmental monitoring to wildlife conservation, offering insights that were previously difficult or impossible to obtain.
This is Hong Kong. It's a vibrant city of urban sprawl and natural world all mixed together. I've been coming here for about 15 years now and it's starting to feel a bit like home. Worldwide, people know Hong Kong for its city, but its archipelago of over 260 islands is a place of contrasts, of skyscrapers and seas, mountains, lakes, wetlands and forests.
Beyond the impressive city skyline lies a Hong Kong lesser known by the rest of the world, one of breathtaking natural beauty and biodiversity. Hong Kong is home to vast areas of protected country parks, covering about 40% of its land area. Here, in these green sanctuaries, the fast pace of the city gives way to nature. Majestic summits like Lion Rock and Victoria Peak offer panoramic views that stretch across the city to the South China Sea and north to mainland China.
Hong Kong is a hub of biodiversity, hosting over 3,300 species of plants and a huge range of animals, including 540 species of birds and 240 species of butterflies, to name just a few. This rich flora and fauna diversity thriving amidst urban development really underscores the importance of conservation efforts designed to protect Hong Kong's unique ecosystems and their inhabitants.
But like everywhere, this ecological paradise faces challenges. As urban expansion and environmental pressures threaten the delicate balance, pollution, habitat loss, and the shadows of climate change all loom large. Conservation initiatives, both government-led and community-driven, strive to protect and restore the ecological integrity of Hong Kong.
A really crucial tool in these efforts are drones. From the mountains of Hong Kong Island, you can see far into the distance, across Victoria Harbour, up into Kowloon, and on a good day, even into the New Territories. But to get a proper look at Hong Kong from above, we need a better view.
The iconic Victoria Harbour splits the city in two, a natural divide between the densely populated Kowloon Peninsula to the north and the sprawling skyscrapers of Hong Kong Island to the south. Even from a satellite's view, the harbour is a distinguishable landmark, a testament to Hong Kong's historical role as a gateway between East and West, a crossroads of cultures, commerce and communities. As we orbit, the boundaries between land and sea blur, highlighting Hong Kong's unique geographical footprint. over 260 dots of land rising from the sea, each with their own story. From the sparsely populated Potoi Island to the rugged terrains of the New Territories, and the urban metropolis on the banks of Victoria Harbour. Viewing Hong Kong from space provides a unique viewpoint on the contrasting landscapes, but we know Hong Kong best from street level.
Seeing Hong Kong from a drone's perspective offers a fascinating new angle on the city's iconic skyline, revealing architectural marvels and the urban landscape in stunning detail.
This aerial viewpoint highlights the remarkable engineering feats and the compactness of the city, showing how skyscrapers sprout from the very edges of the mountains and the shores of Victoria Harbour. The contrast between these man-made giants and the surrounding natural beauty becomes strikingly clear, offering a unique perspective on the blend of modernity and nature that characterises Hong Kong.
Through the lens of a drone, the architectural achievement and the sheer scale of its urban density are appreciated in a whole new light, emphasizing Hong Kong's place as one of the most visually captivating cities in the entire world. In just a few years, drones have gone from being the reserve of a select few tech enthusiasts to becoming accessible, affordable, and easy to use. To get a closer look at some of the latest models and see how they work, we've come to DJI here in Hong Kong. They're one of the world leaders in drone technology, and that technology is getting better by the day. So let's take a look at what makes a typical modern drone. They've normally got 4 motors with these propellers on too, all controlled by a computer inside. The heaviest part of most drones is the bit that gives all the power, and that's the battery. Mostly, people use these for taking photos or videos, so there's the camera right up front, and even though they're small, they rival most handheld cameras on the market today and give amazing footage. The brain of the drone is the flight controller, and it's the technology inside one of these that actually makes it really easy to fly. With some simple inputs, the drone is able to adjust the speed of each motor, and by doing so cause the drone to spin or yaw, move forwards or backwards by controlling the pitch, tilt from side to side, which we call roll, and move up or down. In theory, this is actually really complicated, but luckily for us, all we need to fly this drone is one of these. The flight controller inside then takes our inputs, along with feedback from all the sensors, to make balance changes to the motor speed to allow us to fly with ease. This controller also gives us a live feed from the drone's camera, so we can always see where we're going, along with data like our speed, altitude, distance from objects around us, and how much battery life the drone still has. A really important piece of information. DJI's drones even have an array of sophisticated sensors built in that can detect objects all around them. And the amazing thing is that once it detects those objects, it can calculate in real time how best to avoid them. Combined with cutting-edge camera technology, the advancement of drones has revolutionized more than just one industry. Filmmakers like me can now produce shots that, just a few years ago, would have been reserved for Hollywood studios with enough budget for a helicopter. Now, farmers can automate the spraying of crops, bringing higher efficiency and greater yields. And in the field of science, drones have become a powerful tool for researchers and citizen scientists alike. So it's pretty clear that drones are here to stay. So places like Hong Kong are putting in rules and regulations that allow us to fly them, but to do so safely, without putting others in danger. So it turns out that we're not the only ones trying to get a good view of Hong Kong from above. Every year, the Hong Kong Wetland Park plays host to migratory birds looking for a place to rest on their long journeys.
Located in the New Territories, the wetlands of northern Hong Kong are recognised as one of Asia's most important wetland ecosystems, providing a critical habitat for a myriad of migratory birds along the East Asian Australasian Flyway. Designated as a Ramsar Site of International Importance, this vast area of mangroves, ponds and mudflats serves as a key stopover and feeding ground for tens of thousands of waterfowl each year, underscoring its global significance for biodiversity conservation. Wetlands are invaluable ecosystems that play a critical role in maintaining environmental balance and supporting biodiversity. They act as natural water filters, purifying pollutants from runoff before it reaches larger bodies of water, and serve as crucial buffers against flooding by absorbing and storing excess rainwater.
And wetlands are amongst the most productive habitats on the entire planet, providing essential breeding, feeding and nesting grounds to a huge variety of species, including many endangered ones.
They also play a significant role in carbon sequestration, capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which is vital in the fight against climate change.
So the preservation of wetlands is not only essential for the health of the environment, but for the economic, cultural and recreational benefits they provide to the people of Hong Kong and around the globe. Alongside wildlife, our cultural heritage is just as important.
Tai O, nestled on Lantau Island, it stands as a poignant testament to Hong Kong's rich cultural heritage. This village, with its iconic stilt houses and narrow waterways, is more than just a scenic attraction. It represents a way of life that has weathered the tides of modernization, holding fast to practices and customs that have been passed down through generations.
You know, as the modern world encroaches, we've got a decision to make. Do we embrace modern technology and new lifestyles, or do we preserve traditional values for future generations? Maybe it's a mix of the two.
The efforts to conserve Tai O are crucial, not only for the sake of historical continuity, but for the enrichment of future generations, ensuring that the soul and the stories of this unique fishing village continue to thrive in an ever-changing world.
So how do we go about monitoring the changes that are happening here and make sure that data is available to those trying to do the same? We're going to use a drone small enough that it's not dangerous to people and take as many photos as we can to get an accurate representation of the town.
Drones offer a versatile and efficient means to monitor the evolving landscape and cultural heritage of Tai O, providing essential data for conservation and sustainable development efforts. By deploying aerial drones equipped with high-resolution cameras, conservationists and urban planners can conduct regular surveys of the town, capturing detailed imagery that maps the spatial layout of stilt houses, waterways, and surrounding natural habitats.
This aerial perspective allows for the monitoring of any changes to the structural integrity of the buildings around here, helping to identify places that need repair or conservation work that needs doing to preserve Tai O's unique character.
Furthermore, drones can be used to assess the impacts of environmental factors, such as erosion or flooding, on the town's infrastructure and natural surroundings. By analysing changes over time, authorities can develop strategies to protect the village from the adverse effects of climate change, such as rising sea levels and an increase in storm surges. In summary, drones provide a non-intrusive but comprehensive tool for monitoring the physical and cultural landscape of Tai O, enabling targeted conservation efforts and helping to ensure that this precious part of Hong Kong's cultural heritage is preserved for future generations.
So we collect all this data, and what do we do with it? Well, data shared is data realized. We've analyzed what we got from Tayo and are using a great bit of software called GeoNadia to share it. That means that the next set of scientists who come in to monitor that area can see the work that we've done and compare our data sets to theirs. So it's not just about collecting data. What you do with it afterwards counts towards its usefulness to scientists, but also society. Data should be findable, accessible, useful, and people should be able to reproduce it too. It means we start to build knowledge through the scientific workflow to create a better understanding of our planet. But in a world where data is everywhere, how do we choose data that's helpful to us and not the data we can do without?
I travelled to one of Hong Kong's leading research facilities to meet someone who's collecting data to help protect fragile ocean ecosystems.
I'm a research associate at City University. I work in the State Key Laboratory of Marine Pollution. I work on lots of different marine-based projects around Hong Kong, including an oyster reef restoration-based project here at SWIMS.
Obviously, a lot of your research is on the water and below the water, but is there any scope for using things like aerial drones for science too?
Yes, absolutely. And I think using drones in research, especially marine research, is becoming more popular. For example, the project I worked on oyster reefs. So we wanted to assess the biodiversity associated with oyster reefs in Hong Kong. And one of the things we wanted to do is map where the remaining oysters are. So what we would do, we would fly the drones over really vast areas. We would automate them to take pictures at set intervals. We'd then stitch those images together and use different image analysis software to be able to map exactly where the oysters are. So we can get really important coverage data over really vast areas, which would be really impossible to get if we were just doing the traditional survey techniques on foot. So drones in marine research are extremely beneficial.
So all that data you collect and the science that you do here, in turn, is going to have a positive impact on Hong Kong.
The more we know, the more we can do. So information that we get from these kind of projects, we can really implement and directly make changes in the local area. For example, the lab where I work, my team is called the Eco Shorelines team, and we work to restore Hong Kong's coastlines. So a lot of the coastlines in Hong Kong are no longer natural and have been replaced with artificial shorelines, artificial seawalls, which are very homogeneous and have a hugely reduced marine diversity. So what we do is we implement different types of eco-engineered and oyster shell reef implementations with the goal of increasing the biodiversity and increasing the ecosystem services we get from these marine environments. So all the research that we do can be used directly to change and improve the local area for the local people. Would you like to come see some of the stuff we've got going on inside?
Absolutely. Let's go. Nice. So where are we at the moment?
So this is our aquarium space. Here at SWIMS we have lots of different research groups. We have a very big coral reef research group. You can see we've got lots of corals in the display tank here. We also have teams working on the effects of climate change on different coastal species and the impacts of the environment, so pollution on the organisms which we have here in Hong Kong. So lots of different research going on here.
There seems to be a lot of different types of coral here.
So in Hong Kong, we have a surprising amount of coral. We have more coral species than the Caribbean, which surprises a lot of people. Yes. One of the big questions is why the coral is thriving here so much in water which is typically considered as quite polluted. So a lot of the research here is focused on coral and the many different species which we have.
So coral around the world endangered for a few reasons: ocean acidification, global warming, and warming of the oceans.
Yes.
But despite all that, Hong Kong's corals are still thriving?
Hong Kong's corals seem to be doing pretty well, yeah.
Wow. So the research that happens here at SWIMS is obviously really important, right?
Yes, of course. In order to protect the marine environment, we need to know about it. So the more research we do, the better equipped we can be to protect these ecosystems. We know we're going to face a lot of stressors, things like climate change, increasing pollution, all the effects we get from increasing population sizes. So the more we know, the better chances we have at making a difference and actually protecting these environments.
So we're saying it's the more science, the better.
The more science, the better.
Hong Kong, like everywhere around the world, is changing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We just need to understand how it's changing and help it change for the better. Drones give us a new perspective on how we see the world.
Scientists and engineers have always seen the world in a different way. Whether it's the forces that act on skyscrapers or the complex ecosystems that our wildlife inhabit. That mindset is all about taking the way that we see the world and shifting it to something new.
Now we need those new perspectives to show us a different way to move forward. For the longest time, we've expanded our human world without fully understanding its impacts on the planet. With a renewed emphasis now on looking after our planet and understanding our place within it, we need more scientists and more engineers to take us beyond what we thought was even possible.